We have a data set, XY. This column here, X, is the number of weeks from January the 1st. This number Y is profit in GB pounds or dollars, it doesn't really matter. And we're asked some questions. And of course, the best thing to do when you're wanting to find a best fit model is go ahead and just see what the data looks like. So doc, insert, and we want a data and statistics page because we're plotting data, X and Y. The benefits of this is we can clearly see that a quadratic might be a good fit. It has that shape, it has a vertex round about here. It's kind of symmetrical-ish. I mean, that's what the quadratic model will give us. And we also get the automatically scaled axes here, which is going to be important. So we can go ahead and fit it on this menu, analyze, regression, and we choose the right regression. We've already got the equation for the line of best fit. Now notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits here. That's because on my document, on my settings, on my document, on my settings, I changed my rounding to 5 float. So I've got 5 sig fig. A lot of you have got about 13 digits going across your screen and you can't read the model. So you could even change this to float 3, okay. And now look, you could write down that model, couldn't you? And you could easily use it. So that's already an improvement on, I think, what most of you are doing. And you've got like 10 or 12 significant figures here. So that's a good thing. That was on the document, settings and status, document settings, and change the display digits. You can change that back at any time if you want more accuracy for later calculations. Great. So I could use this model now to do calculations. If I wanted week 33, I go ahead and substitute it in place of the X, because X represents the weeks. And I could crunch this out on a normal calculation page. So that's already good. But I'm not going to do it that way because I am going to go back to the spreadsheet. On the side here, I'm going to get the same quadratic model, but I'm also going to get the R squared value as well. Menu, statistics, stat calc. Oh, if you click it too fast, you default to the first model there. So a way of getting around that is menu, 4, 1, so you're using the numbers instead of doing the clicking, because the clicking can be quite fast, right? And then I just can look for the quadratic regression, which is 6. I think that's a bit better. So now we want the X values here, the Y values, and look where it's saving it to. It's saving this equation automatically to the function plotter, F1. So let's go ahead and click OK. So obviously we've got the same result, negative 0.895 for A, negative 0.895 for A, X squared. 52.2 for B. Look at the model here. B is the X, 52.2, and negative 359, negative 359. The same result. And then the R squared value, 0.988, very, very strong. But this is where the magic happens. Doc, insert a graph. Now, where did the equation save it? Saved it into, press the up arrow. It's already there, waiting to go. Press enter. We can't see it, of course, because of the scaling. But when we go to this guy, negative 400 maybe to 400 on the Y, and maybe 0, maybe go up to 50 or 60. So we can go back now to our graph, which is here, and I can go change the scale. You can go and double click onto these numbers here, or you go through the full menu, window zoom, window settings. I'm going to go, well, actually negative 5 up to 60. And the Y value, did we say about 400s? Negative 400 up to 400. And the reason why it's nice to have it on here as well as here is that on this bad boy, shortcut Control T, table of values. All right, table of values, beautiful. Now let's go back and look at the questions we had. Use the model to predict the profit in weeks 42, 33, and 52. Now these are nice integer numbers. So if we go back to this, we'd literally just scroll down, and the first column is the X. There's week 33. There's a profit. We can just write it down. And here's all the other answers we need. 52, there's a negative profit, it's a loss. All right? But we've not finished yet. Let's just go and answer the questions properly. A, write down the best fit quadratic model. You would write that straight down from here. That was the quickest way of getting it. You could write it down from here, but you'd have to go and put these numbers into the model in the right place. Next question, justify that this is a good model. It's a good model because the coefficient of determination is 0.988. Right, the closer to 1, the better the model. Next question, use the model to predict the profit in week 42. Well, in week 42, you can see on this graph or this graph, 42 is within the data set, right? So we're interpolating. And R squared is very, very, very high. It's a good prediction. So for week 42, it will be a good prediction because R squared is high and we're interpolating. For week 33, good prediction? Yep. Within the data, within the, what's that called along the x-axis? The domain. Within the domain. The range is the y values, the domain. So within the domain of the data. And the final thing, week 52. Not good, right? Yeah, this model is great, but only for values from 0 to 45. We don't really know what happens at 52. We're assuming, because of the symmetry of the model, that we can predict, but we can't. And now, for this class, for the first time in history, well, my history, let's do it a slightly different way. Doc, insert, calculator. So where did we save the equation? Which f was it? F1. F1 of 33. F1 of 52. F1 of 44. And even F1 of 27.4. It's already programmed in. All right? An even better, shorter cut for substituting an x value in and then getting a y value coming out. Now, these shortcuts here, they can only come if you have the spreadsheet and you feed in and work on the spreadsheet to find the quadratic regression. It doesn't come, I'm afraid, from the data and statistics page. Data and statistics gets you the equation, but it doesn't store this anywhere. Right? So this page is great to see the visual, and kind of when you see the visual, you're justifying that it's a quadratic because of the shape. And then you can fit the model on there and you've got the equation, but it doesn't give you the R squared value from this page, and it doesn't store this into the F plotter. You're very welcome.